Good talk. How about that Sarah, man? Who here played Star Fox as a kid? I have the weirdest boner right now. So you guys fired up for the holiday? It's my favorite holiday. 420. Pineapple upside down cake day. Google that shit. No, it's not. It's International Weed Smoking Day. Let's do a quick poll. Who here does not smoke weed? It's okay. There's no cops. You can be honest. Who here does not smoke weed? Shame on you! You un-American bastards! There's nothing more un-American than not smoking weed. The Constitution of the United States was printed on hemp paper. Look it up. Which gives me a great idea for rolling papers. Founding Fathers rolling papers with the Constitution printed on every one. Smoke weed and be free. So you guys ready for some serious shit right now? Yeah! Because I read something in the last couple weeks that's got me pretty fucking pissed, to be honest with you. I read this study that came out in 2010. It was a survey of studies pertaining to marijuana that happened from 2005 to 2009. 37 different individual, peer-reviewed, placebo-controlled studies from around the world. And guess what, guys? The facts are in. Weed, cannabis, motherfucking-C cures cancer. Call off the walks. We don't have to do them anymore. In 2008, Harvard applied pure THC to brain tumors. By the way, why you gotta get a brain tumor to have pure THC applied to your brain? But guess what? It shrunk them. We all know how chemo works. It just sort of goes into the body like Republicans into the rest of the world, and it's just like, kill all the cells, let God sort them out. But in 2007, the British Journal of Pharmacology reported that lung cancer patients who chose to instead be treated by smoking one joint of marijuana a day, that not only did the weed smoke kill the lung cancer cells, but it made the healthy cells better at breathing air. Weed, cannabis, motherfucking-C cures cancer. Now you gotta be wondering why I'm all fired up about this. Because for me, it's personal. In 2001, my little sister was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Don't worry, she's fine now. In fact, she's perfect now. In fact, as far as I could tell, she was perfect then, because she handled it with a sense of humor. A lot of chemo patients, when they have their first blood transfusion, they experience a rush of energy, sort of like when a normal person drinks Charlie Sheen's urine. And when my sister got her first one, she came out of the doctor's office and she looked at my mom and said, "I think I know what a vampire feels like, and I like it." But it's not fair. It's not fucking fair that because my greatest fear is getting raped in the ass, that her overweight, dropout comic stoner older brother is keeping this secret amulet of perfect health to himself, like Gollum with the ring, like, my precious. It's not fair that because California, like since 1914, has liked to use the weed laws to deport Mexicans, that we're 100 years behind on this research. We're 100 years. We could have polioed this cancer shit by now. And then that grandma or friend that just keeps going on about having the cancer. Jesus. We'd be like, Jesus, Grandma, I bought you that half a month ago. Why don't you just smoke it already? Clear that lung cancer shit right up. Your grandma would be like, but it's so hard to smoke the joints. I know, Grandma, but it's for your health. Plus, you're like 90. Learn how to steep a weed tea already. Come on. And it works out well for me that weed happens to be the answer to life, the universe, and everything, because if you hadn't figured it out by now, I'm also a seller. I call this my enablement set. You're right. So since all of you will soon be approaching me, it's time to come up with a few rules of etiquette for the buying of the weed. For instance, if you're an attractive lady and you want to ask me if you can buy some weed, no matter how inappropriate the place, whether it be like work or the library or the doctor's office or the police station, please, just for me, don't start that conversation with, I know this may seem a little inappropriate, but Because I'm a man first, and at that point I think you're talking about sex, and I think our relationship is about to change. And when you follow it up with, can I get an 8? You're just a tease at that point. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Here's another one. If the general public out there, when they see two people having a conversation, they don't assume that you're talking about weed. So if you want to buy weed from me, just come up and have a conversation with me. You don't need to do it on the fly. You don't need to be like, because this has actually happened to me. Like, I'll be at work, and someone will be walking by like, hey man, can I get a dub plate? And I'm not standing on a corner. I don't have time for them to, I'm working. I don't have time for them to do a lap and then be like, yeah man, hit me up after work. Here's the other thing. As a user myself, I'm aware that potheads are forgetful. So if you're coming by my house and you forget to go by the ATM first, just tell me that. All right? You don't need to come up with some story. I can spot you a dub until the next time you pass through. Just tell me. You don't need to be like an alien probed my cat and then charge me $20. Because a dub is $20. That's... Now, then once you get the weed, it's important because I don't know if you guys are aware, besides having all those health benefits, weed also gets you high. Yeah, so you should probably smoke it. But it would be very irresponsible of me to tell you guys to go out into the world and get high without telling you what to do with that high. So I'm about to tell you one of my favorite things to do with that high. Do you ever take down the little email address at the Taco Bell drive-thru that asks, please tell us how your experience truly was? I like to do that and then get really stoned and tell them. Those letters usually go something like this: Dear Taco Bell. The other night, around midnight, my friends and I had just finished smoking a mace to the face. Which, if you're not familiar with the mace, it's a paper towel tube, 6 straws, 6 joints, tape, and teamwork. And we thought we'd like to do the same thing with some Mexi Melts. So we got to the Taco Bell, and I gotta say, as always, on par with just below delicious. My only complaint, though, whoever was on the line that night folding the Mexi Melts was absent on Mexi Melt folding day at Taco Bell Academy. Because I got beans everywhere, on my forehead, on my steering wheel, in the glove box where I keep my important documents, my pants, enclosed as my dry cleaning bill. And if you could also tell me where I could get some of that delicious bean and cheese paper I've started finding at some of your select locations, I would appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm Tim Wolcott. Thanks. Have a great evening.